Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling, the next in my Hot Topics series. Today we're going to do 2 classes on the hot topic of cybersecurity. In this class we're going to be doing a little bit of reading and a bit of discussion. You will learn about the extent of cyber attacks just in the past year and the risks they pose for you as well as for companies and even governments. That is to say, if you don't know about what's going on, we'll bring you up to date. You also will learn about the steps individuals and organizations can take to better protect their data online, and will reflect their own digital security practices. So first, we're going to look at a bit of hacking, and then we'll look at what we can do to stop it, or what we think about it. I'd like to hear your opinions. So that is a little bit about the class. Here's a bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking, so we can keep the classroom nice and quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning when you are speaking, so that what that means is use them as actively as you can, so that I can correct you and give you feedback. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And that is all you need to know about me and the class. Ooh. I look terrible. I just realized I look terrible. Let's get rid of my face, shall we? Let's put on the screen what we really want to see. There, look at that. So when you open that document, you will see this graphic, and then you know you're in the right place. So take a look at that. Look at that graphic, and I want you to tell me what that says about cybersecurity. What comes to mind? As you start to think about the topic, we'll start to come up with good key words and phrases about security, cybersecurity, cyberspace, hacking. We'll come up with all of that as we talk about it, and then that will help us understand what we're going to read. So, we'll get started as soon as you come into class. One thing I can do while we're waiting for people to join us is just take a look at what we're going to do. So we'll talk about the image, which will give us some vocabulary. We'll talk about the topic. Cybersecurity and online privacy have been making the headlines every week. But how do data breaches at companies and government institutions affect individuals? What can individuals do to enhance their digital security? So, we'll talk about what cybersecurity is, where the limits between security and privacy are, in your opinion. Look at some high-profile cases out there in the headlines. There's some really interesting things going on, as you probably know from the news. We'll talk about some of those. And then I've got 2 articles. So in the first class, we'll probably, after doing a little discussion, read one or both of the articles. They're pretty short, and that'll give us a little more information to think about the issues with. And then, if we have time, we might look at a few interesting cases. I put one there in the links, the Stratford case, which is a famous hacking case we can talk about. In the second class, we're going to go right to our activities. So after we've had time to think about everything, let's change this a little bit. After we've had time to think about everything, I've got a bunch of articles for you to do a little summary of, and we'll get different points of view based on these articles and the summaries. Based on those points of view, what we're going to do is come up with our own security solutions, which you'll see in the second activity. So that's the plan. So, with that in mind, let's get started. We've got one person. One's a good number, right, Daniel?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, Daniel, 1 is a good number for a class, don't you think?
I don't know.
1 is a good number of students. Students. Look in the chat window. Don't you agree with that statement?
1 is good number of students. For this topic, I think no. Not.
I don't know what's going on this week, Daniel. The numbers have been so low.
I know. Maybe in my child school, more than half in his class is sick.
Oh yeah, here too. It's a big flu. Everyone's sick. I'm sick too, actually, right now. I'm a little better, but yeah. So you think that's it? Everyone is sick? They're all in the hospital?
Yes, and I've just arrived from the doctor with my younger child because he was coughing all night.
You're a 2-year-old, right? 2 or 4?
My younger, the little one.
The little one is 2?
The little one, it's Eric.
No, but how old? He's 2, isn't he?
Two, yeah.
Yeah.
In February.
2, and the other one is
5.
2 and 5.
Yes.
The younger one is Eric, and the older one is
Angel.
Angel. Angel. There you go.
Eric is a devil.
He's what?
Devil. I don't know what to say in English.
He's the fox, right?
Fox and a little bit
devil.
Yes.
He's mischievous, we say.
Yes.
Mischievous. Like this. Give me a second and I'll post it for you. There you go. Mischievous. It means.
Yeah. I'm going to write it down.
It's a good word.
Yeah. Like it.
If he's really mischievous, if he's really a fox, maybe one day he'll become a hacker.
Maybe.
Does he hack?
Or English teacher on internet.
Well, that's a different kind of mischievous. Let's see. Well, Daniel, I think we're going to get started with or without people. So we got some people watching. Hopefully they'll come in the room instead of watching. But I think you're right. I think there's a big flu going around and everyone's sick. So maybe that is the reason. All the Spanish people are sick. And maybe you're only safe if you're on another continent. I don't know.
At the moment.
So, well, let's get started. First of all, take a look at that graphic and tell me, let's talk about that a little bit. It's always good to brainstorm. So, that's the image for cybersecurity. Take a look at that image and tell me, what does it make you think of? Especially when you hear the word cybersecurity or cyber attack. What comes to mind?
We are talking about internet and security in communication, because big in some governments try to spy our communication.
Yeah. So that's one kind of security. Security from from the government.
Yes, beautiful. when you are when you make a purchase, you need some security too.
Yeah, so consumer security, maybe. Absolutely. And look at that picture for a minute too. What is that picture of? Can you tell?
Yes, it's a metaphoric. A hacker open your system. Your
What do we call that? What do we call that thing that the hand is turning? What is that thing? Do you know what that is?
I don't know. To open steal to steal.
Yeah, maybe. So that's a safe. The thing overall is a safe, like this. He's turning it's a combination lock. Combination lock, like that. And what's interesting is that there's light coming out when it opens the door. Maybe that's the metaphor. I don't know.
I don't understand the metaphor in this case.
I don't either. But it reminds me of Pulp Fiction. They kept carrying around the box with the light. You could never see what was in the box. Maybe we need to see what's inside. I don't know. Or maybe someone's behind the computer trying to get in. Maybe they've opened your safe. I don't know which way to look at it. But you talked about governmental cybersecurity. So that issue was what we called, that was from something called the NSA, which is the National Security Agency. I think it's agency. I think it's this. I can double check. Which is just like the CIA, but far more mysterious. In fact, no one really even knew about it until it started to make the headlines. It's been around for a long, long time. And the public doesn't really know what it does. But it operates like the CIA, only far more secretive. So you never heard it 10 years ago, no one knew what it was. It's only recently.
I think from the case of leaks,
WikiLeaks, yeah.
WikiLeaks, we started to hear about this NSA, no?
That's right.
This agency.
Yeah, that's it. That was pretty much, and then the guy who supplied most of that information, or a lot of it, well, two people that supplied that information. One is in jail, and the other one is locked in an embassy. He can't leave the embassy or he'll be arrested for different reasons.
I watched the film the other day about Julian Assange. Julian Assange.
That's it.
Australian.
Yeah, with Cumberbatch, the guy, the actor. He puts on a very bad wig and he becomes Julian Assange. Very, very bad wig, like a bad toupee. His hair in the movie looks very fake. Did you see that movie, Odie? The one he's talking about?
No. What we are talking?
Well, he was talking about the movie about Julian Assange. What was the name of the movie?
I'm going to look it up. I don't remember.
Was it good? I heard it was not so good. I don't know.
I spent the time. Nothing special.
Nothing special. Yeah.
Underground Julian Assange.
Right.
All right.
Well, you're absolutely right. It was when Julian Assange, who is
the fifth power.
The fifth power. Ah, right.
In Spanish,
right.
I don't know in English.
Oh.
The fifth estate.
The fifth estate, yeah. That comes from a book in the 1980s about the future of computers and the military. If I remember right, there was a book called The Fifth. I can't remember the name. I have to look it up. But that seems like a reference. I'll see if I can find it later. Well, let's get started here. We've got 2 people. 2 is a good number. 3 would be better. If everyone watching right now would come into class, the class would be full, but I can't make you come in. But you should. So let's get started here. Cybersecurity and online privacy have been making headlines every week. We can start there, actually. Let's go down to the warm-up. What have you heard in the news recently about people harming companies or other organizations by gaining unauthorized access to their computer systems? Let's start there. What news have you heard? So you mentioned the NSA. That was a while ago. So there was WikiLeaks, right? But that was quite a while ago now. WikiLeaks, the NSA spying and surveillance, right? So that's a good point, but that's old news. What have you heard recently?
About Sony.
Sony, right. Sony hacks.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I saw the film. I watched the film.
The
Funny.
interview.
I didn't see it. What was the film? The what's it called?
The interview.
The interview, right? Yeah, that's it. The interview.
It's a really bad film, but
It's a really bad film.
it was promoted by these hacks.
Oh.
They become famous.
Odie, why do you want to delete my WikiLeaks? Odie, why are you deleting my text? What happened?
Oh, really?
Don't delete. I'm gonna reject your change.
No.
Oh, they hacking you.
Don't hack me. Don't hack me. I'm gonna reject your change, Odie. Yeah, you've been
Yeah,
rejected.
really, it's fine on me. Oh,
Alright.
okay. No worries. I don't
Odie's a hacker. So, yeah. So, what happened? Let's talk about the news a little bit. I know the headlines. I honestly have not been following the news. I just know a little bit about the headlines, and I know about the movie. But so, what happened? What happened with the Sony hacks? Can you give us the summary from what you know?
Me?
Yeah, you were talking about it.
Okay.
So what happened?
Someone, maybe a bunch of hackers, they get in Sony system by
In the past. They get? No, in the past.
They got in
Right.
in Sony systems by password. The password was found in archivo.
Article?
No, it. I think. One moment.
Because I don't know anything
A
about
file
this story.
in a file called all password or something. All secret password for getting in Sony system.
So let me see if I understand.
I heard that. I don't know.
They got the password like online at a website for passwords?
Yes.
So like anyone in the public could have gotten in. Is that right?
I've heard that. I read that.
Wow. So.
Because it would be impossible to almost impossible to get in without some help from the company, inside the company.
Right. So it sounds like someone in the company was a little bit upset and posted passwords deliberately.
Yeah.
Interesting. And Odie, have you read about this story as well?
Yeah, but I'm not really remember. As I remember that they also hack all the people who played in the interview movies. So like the personal phone number and kind of that things. That's what I remember.
Well, I remember that there was personal emails from the executives at Sony, and the problem was that they were emails about other Hollywood actors and Hollywood producers, right? So all of this private stuff suddenly became public. That I remember. I honestly didn't read about it, but I just read the headlines. So a lot of people were really embarrassed because they said some pretty bad things, which was pretty funny to read. So here's the question: who did it? Did you either of you read about who was responsible?
First of all, the North Korea government was accused. I don't know.
Accused, right?
Was accused.
Accused, right?
By USA government. But at the end, I think, or I read, or I heard, it was some hackers, but not from North Korea. They wanted to show to the world how easy could be getting or getting.
How easy getting in could be.
Could be.
Yeah, you have to change the word order. Not how easy could be getting in, but how easy getting in could be. Well, like I said, I didn't read about this. I don't know enough about it. But I wonder why we would blame North Korea. The movie was about North Korea, right?
Yes. You know, the the end of the film is it's hard. It's
They killed the president. They killed the prime minister.
Whatever he is, the dictator. I didn't see it. Yeah, I heard about it because in the emails that were hacked, we could read that they forced the company forced the director, I think it was, to rewrite and reshoot the ending of the movie, or at least re-edit to make it less gratuitous, right? To avoid an international incident. And then Obama mentioned the film. The President of the United States mentioned the film and mentioned freedom of expression, and that they should not have held back the film. They should not have changed it. He actually talked about it, which is very unusual, I think. So all of that is very interesting, particularly if it wasn't North Korea who did the hacking. But then, don't forget, North Korea's internet mysteriously stopped working a few days later. Remember that? Suddenly, North Korea had no internet, just a few days after the scandal. Did you read about that?
No.
So, right after the scandal, a few days later, North Korea lost its access to the internet, at least temporarily. Weird coincidence, don't you think? Strange. How did that happen?
Who managed the internet connection?
I don't know. Maybe it was Kim Jong King. It's not King. What's his name? Kim Jong Un. Maybe he's the one
Kim
running the. I
Jong
don't know.
Un.
Because he's a god.
Maybe. Well, it's interesting because yeah, it's not really been decided that I know of who did it. But that leads us to another question. Let's take a look. How do these people break into computers? So Daniel, you mentioned that it had to be an inside job. So that's the first. If it's an inside job, someone inside of Sony had to have given the information, right? That was the first idea. So what are some other ways that people that you know about that people can break into computers? Inside job. In other words, someone knows passwords and puts them out, posts them somewhere. So that's definitely one way. There's a couple of websites out there, they're very famous, that give you passwords. I don't even know if they're illegal. They're out there, and they've been there for years. So if they're illegal, how are they still operating? There's quite a few. Not personal passwords to email, but passwords to sign in to get past paywalls and things like that. And they're still operating, so I don't know how they can do it. So one way is that there's an inside job, someone has a password and posts it. Odie, what do you think? What are some other ways that people can hack into computers? People, governments, companies, whatever. Would you add anything to that?
I have no idea actually, but I keep thinking.
Well, where is Igor when we need him? Our cybersecurity expert. Because I don't know. Well, anyway, I know about a little bit about how servers work. So I know that if your server has a vulnerability, people can get inside. So I know that. Have either of you ever tried to hack anything?
No.
Have either of you ever left your keys inside the car with the window shut and the door locked?
No.
No? Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, I used to do this every week. I can't tell you how many times. I went through one summer where I did it almost every single day. I kept locking my car keys in the car with the door locked. And
Wow.
back then there was no beeper to unlock your thing, your door. It was manual, so I kept doing it. But guess what I learned how to do? Guess what I learned how to do?
Don't forget your keys.
No. I learned.
Breaking the windows.
I never broke a
Learn.
window. Never. I learned to be a
Force the door.
Learn to be a hacker. No, learn to be a hacker. I realized that in the movies, they stick some piece of metal
Okay.
in the inside of the window, and if you can angle it right in old cars, you can get to the handle of the door.
Mhm.
And I did it and it worked. And I had to do it. I mean, like at least 3 times in one summer. I don't know what was wrong with me, and it kept. And then I stopped. Then I was okay after that. Something was wrong with my brain for one summer, but it worked. It worked. Here's another story. Then we'll move on. I one time hacked into a router. You know what a router is?
Huh?
A router.
Router. No.
Router, internet.
Router. Okay.
Yeah. So, what does the router do?
Connection.
Give
What,
you
Odie?
internet connections or Wi-Fi.
Yes, between the internet connection and telephone connection.
Yep. So, between the local area connection, the LAN, and the World Wide Web. connects you. So it's the thing that routes. Routes means sends. Sends, like route and route are the same word, basically. It's the thing that sends the signals on the right path, the router. So I did it one time, but I don't know anything about computers. But I needed to get into my own router at a school, and no one knew anything about computers. So I went to the internet. I put in the model number of the router, the brand and the model. I found the default password. Do you know what I mean by default?
Yes.
Default, like that. What is default?
Uh, the number from the factory.
Right, the factory setting, the default setting. So I found the default password. I tried it out, and it worked. Nobody had updated the password. So I was able to get into the school router. And then, what did I have to do? I was able to get in, and then I was able to turn on the Wi-Fi for the school, because they had a router for years, and they didn't know their own password, so nobody had Wi-Fi in the entire school. It was sitting there broadcasting, and everyone was blocked. And then I was like, wait a second, this can't be that difficult. I Googled for it, found the password, no one had changed it, I got in. And then when you get in, you have to, routers are all different. There's no standard router, so you have to figure out the configuration. It's a little bit weird. But I did it. Got internet, and for the first time, the students at that school, for the first time, had classes where we used YouTube videos. I mean, we had real material that was interesting and up to date, instead of books from 2001 or something. So it was good.
High school?
Yeah, they're high school students. It was a private school, but yeah, a terrible, terrible private school. That's one reason I don't work at these schools anymore, because they're not good. Online is better. But anyway, I became a hacker by accident. That's my hacking story. So, car hacking and router hacking. I want to show you a little video here. You're going to watch a short video called Cybersecurity 101, and think about these questions. Daniel, read the first question for us.
One moment. What is the Internet, and how did connecting computers into networks introduce the vulnerabilities that criminals take advantage of today?
Okay, and Odie, do you read the second one for us? These are what you have to be able to answer at the end of the video.
Okay. What are some of the ways in which not network computers can be compromised, and why is it difficult to prevent these kinds of attacks?
And what do you think compromised means in this sentence?
To find a weak point.
Define a weak point. I agree. That's it. So compromise is when there's a weakness. You find a weakness, or there is some weakness or vulnerability. All right. I'm going to try my best to play this YouTube video. For those of you watching, you won't be able to see it. So that's why you should be here in the class. For those of you inside the class, if your internet connection is not so strong, you might not be able to see it. Okay? So I'll do my best. Let's give it a try, though. Odie has added the YouTube app. So let's use the YouTube app. I'm going to use it too. What's happening? Is it loading? What's happening with my YouTube app? Nothing's happening. Hold on a second.
Okay.
My YouTube app is not working. What's going on? Ah, there we go. There it is. It's slow, but it's opening. Okay, give me a second just to put in the URL, and let's take a look. Ah, it's downloading really slowly. Really slow. This might not work. If it doesn't work, I'll put it in the chat window for you. No, it's not working. It's really, really, really slow. I can't download it. Maybe I need to just put it in the chat window. Alright, I'm going to try to cancel it because it's not downloading. I will put it here in the chat window. Now nothing is working. Now I'm frozen. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Let me re-enter because something's wrong. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay?
Have you opened the YouTube apps,
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's we watch it.
It's up to John.
Yeah. I watch at the different browser.
Sorry?
I watch the cybersecurity one in the different tab in the different browser.
The security.
The link there is on the document, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
From
was the
the.
Nova Labs? From the document there is a link for. Let's we watch it.
Odi.
Yep. Yep. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you going to do something special this weekend?
Um.
Study English.
No. No. I don't have any. I Yeah. Sometimes I never plan to go somewhere on the weekend because when I want to go or I'm in the mood to go out,
Mm-hmm.
just I just go out like that because I don't have what I call in English a gang like in the university was like I
Mm-hmm.
was in the university. I mean, my friends are married now, so it is
You need a girlfriend.
I need a girlfriend so I can have but when I have a girlfriend I'm never going out with her so
Mm.
I'm very busy. I was very busy.
Uh,
Yeah, actually had many times this month I sent message to her and just want to reconnected or kind of that.
mhm.
I mean like I want to get in touch again but it's like that she ignored me. Yeah, so that's fine.
The word is the word is empty of woman. Don't worry.
Yes, of course. But it is so funny because I was ignore her and then she
Yeah.
ignored me now.
Your own medicine.
Yes.
My plan is very
And it's,
exciting. Is taking care of my sick children.
oh, your children is sick or
Yes.
six?
Yeah. Sick.
Oh,
Sick. Illness.
yeah, sick.
Cold.
Yes.
Sniffing. Coughing.
In Spanish? In Espanol?
Toser. Mocos.
O sea,
Toser. Coughing.
okay.
Hello, John Hacker.
Let's
John Hacker.
not loaded yet. Hold on. Okay, now it's working. Alright, sorry for that. I just had to cleared the cache and it took too long for some reason. But let's see if we can get this to work now. Here is the video. Oops. Did I save it? Wait, add video. Look. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to stop there. So let me close this and let's go back to our, let's close this, close the YouTube app. Could both of you see the film? Okay?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good, good. I was worried. Give me a second and I'm going to go back to our questions. Yeah, hold on. Cancel. Give me a second to open this again. There we go. And I'll put it back on screen. So you had two things to think about. There we go. Come on, load. Come on, cybersecurity. Load. Document, load. Next page. Sometimes talking to it makes it go faster. There we go. So, it's not a bad video. It does give you a kind of different perspective. At least I thought it did. So, for me, the different perspective was in the first question. What is the internet and how did connecting computers into networks introduce vulnerabilities? It doesn't go into depth, but Did you learn anything from the video in that part? What was the point that they were trying to make?
Mm.
No, nothing?
Mm,
Uh-oh. Was it difficult to understand?
not really, actually, but
Maybe because the origin architecture as a network,
The origin was what? Sorry, say again?
uh,
architecture
Architecture, yeah.
architecture as a network
Uh-huh.
could be the reason for internet vulnerabilities.
I
I don't
agree
know.
with you, but no, I think you're right. But what do you mean exactly? What was the original architecture, and how is that
As
different?
a as a little network that
Uh-huh.
become as
Uh-huh.
a big huge network.
I think that is absolutely the point they were trying to make. It said, we take something that was the size of a shoebox and expanded it to the size of a building, and then connected all the buildings together. So I think you're right. So it wasn't intended for this kind of information. That's what they're trying to say. And so that original architecture has a lot of vulnerabilities just because it wasn't intended for this. Oda, you take the second question. What are some of the ways in which network computers can be compromised? In the video, did you learn anything? Did they mention anything? Or what was their point, I guess?
let me try to remember. I don't know. I don't.
Or you can talk about your own experience, what you think.
What are some ways in network can be compromised?
Well, let's put it this way. Remember when they talked about how to make a really secure internet? What did they suggest? Because if you look at how to secure it, it'll tell you how it can be compromised. So what did they suggest about securing it? Remember?
No,
Did you watch the video?
I watch it.
Well, what was the end? The very end.
Securing. Oh my god.
Help them out, Daniel.
Take your your transaction or your identity or purchase, or because someone can take your identity and steal your credit card or uh, performs as your identity in many ways
Do things using your identity.
using your identity. Yes.
What were some of the ways the video suggested if we wanted to make a real secure internet? What were some of the ways we would have to?
By by for example, in Spain, you can with your uh, the DNI, you have a chip, and you can put in your laptop,
Yeah?
and mm, you can get in some webs, governmental webs,
Uh-huh.
and you have to you can you can to do
You can do.
you can do you can do things by your identification. Mm,
So the chip recognizes your
yes,
DNA.
yes.
So what do you have to do? You have to give it blood? How does it know it's you?
No, no. In you in I don't know, in Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
in USA, I think it doesn't exist. DNI. I think with your driver license you can do things, no?
Uh, Maybe there's a chip in your. We have one card here that has everything in it, everything, all your data, financial, social security, personal identity, all of it is in one card, and it has a chip in it. That's true, but your identity, I guess, is confirmed when you make the card,
You
and so
make the car and make an you have to get in a password, a personal password,
yeah, and you have to give.
and then your computer recognize
Mhm.
your identity
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah,
for
that's right.
some. Hmm,
Yeah, like you, so you link it, you link the identity online
yes.
to your computer, and
Hmm.
then from that point on, it reckon all your transactions can be.
you don't waste time in long lines.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Everything is, and it counts as your signature. So
Mm-hmm.
so anyone using your card is you, which means you can use it for your
Yes.
spouse as well. Um, but go back to the film for a second.
Hmm.
Remember they remember the thought experiment at the end. What would we need to do to create a truly secure internet? Can you remember, either one of you, one idea at the end of the film of how to create a really secure internet?
Uh, Making
Where
a internet police.
it said that making an internet police?
Uh,
It said security. I remember that, like armed security. Where would we put the servers?
I can't remember.
Really? Oh my
Really?
God! I thought the video was funny and memorable.
Yeah, but they
Adi,
speak
wait. Odie,
too
what did you say?
too
In the
fast.
moon.
On the moon! You did see
On
it.
the moon.
Ah,
Of course, on the moon.
even in the moon, even in the moon, is not secure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moon people might be able to get in.
Selling it.
So, to be really secure, number one, the servers would be on the moon. Number two, what about downloading? Would that be possible?
No.
According to the film, downloading would no longer be possible.
Yeah.
There was a couple of other ideas. In other words, according to the film, can we really make the internet really truly secure? Really?
No.
Why not?
Because even on the moon, some hacker can break in.
It would seem so. And another point of the film is, if we did make it secure, it wouldn't be worth anything. It wouldn't be worthwhile because we couldn't do anything with it. So the fact that it connects to your personal computer, although there's something the film doesn't tell you, which is operating systems. I won't mention any names, but operating systems in the past were vulnerable when they didn't have to be vulnerable. And that's another issue entirely. I won't mention any names, but certain famous operating systems made very stupid decisions. I won't mention any names, but I'll just say it was a major operating system that 90% of the world computers have, made a very stupid decision uh, for profit-related reasons, which made the operating system vulnerable. So the fact that there are viruses has a lot to do with the way the operating system is developed. Why is it that some operating systems have like almost no viruses and others have hundreds or thousands? So it has something to do with the way it was developed. So that's another thing we ought to think about too. Um, I had an article here. Let me just see how long it is. Maybe we should let's this is actually really short. Let's see if we can. It's kind of an overview, and it's pretty short. So this is one from Davos, where you have the big Davos convention happening right now. All the heads of major multinationals are meeting in one place, and the IMF and all those people. Cyber attacks worry the Davos elite. Are you familiar with Davos, both of you?
Yet it's about to be a summit, no?
Yeah, I think it's happening, isn't it? Or is it next week? Yeah. Okay.
It's
So,
crazy.
say again?
It's crazy because they are talking about greenhouse gases,
Right.
and suddenly I think 100 or 150 jets
Mm-hmm.
for carrying people
Mm-hmm.
to Switzerland.
Switzerland, right?
I think they could share planes, I think.
They could carpool if they really wanted to. Carpool. Everyone gets in the same car and drives to Davos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that too. They're having a a summit about how to better the world and teaching us normal people, what we can do. And then
And
they all.
I'm going in my I'm going to go in my jet.
Mhm. And not everyone can go to Davos. That's part of
No,
the point. Um,
the ticket is 40,000 euros.
really?
Yes, crazy.
Well, I can give you my ticket if you want to go. I bought an extra one, so I'll give it to you. Um, well, let's find out a little bit about what the Davos people are worried about, because it gives us an idea about cybersecurity. Let's see. Let me restart the Hangout because we're just about at the end of the hour. Okay, so we're going to pick up here, and then I've got a little thought experiment for us to do at the end, where we create our own cybersecurity, or at least we think about how to create it. All right.
Okay.
So I'll be back in 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds.
Okay.
See you in a minute. Bye
Bye
for
for
now.
now.